One of our customers has asked us to make a trigger for the third slide on their Elite Piccolo, and once again Carlos has attacked this process and created a very interesting way of doing this. So there's your actuation. Very cool. The connector rod here has a threaded section that screws in right here, and you're able to back that out and effectively move the trigger mechanism slightly further out, thus being able to move the slide a greater distance when you actuate the trigger itself. So you can adjust how far out you really want to kick it through a fine-tuned mechanism here, where what you do is you unscrew this set screw here, you back the rod off by spinning it out a little bit, and you have a pretty good amount of adjustment that you can make. I mean, you can pull it out a little bit further so this is sitting back. But Carlos attacked this and did a couple things that were a little bit different from the last job like this he did. On this one, he made the paddle come off to the left side like this. So ergonomically speaking, your hand fits like this, and it's very, very comfortable for being able to activate the fourth valve with your finger and still have your thumb on here and utilize the trigger mechanism. And again, the way the rod is set up is it drops through the lead pipe, between the lead pipe and the valve block there, and it drops down to a connecting point on the slide itself. Very beautiful setup. So if you do want a trigger mechanism for your Piccolo, give us a call and we can hook you up with that. Alrighty, let's take a look at how to disassemble this. So for the assembly and disassembly process, we're starting with the reassembly so that you can see it in reverse engineering, because usually when we disassemble something we don't remember how we put it back together. So here we have the screw that holds in this piece here. So when you put it back together, you lay it this way so that this section is pointing up at you, and then this goes this direction. So the slide, the tubes are on the left, the crook is on the right, and drop this in so it's going up and back. So as you can see, the bar itself is on the inside towards the valve block. Drop the slide in and then let it rest there. Then we take the actuator bar and slide it between the valve block and the lead pipe and line it up with the other side of the actuator bar that's connecting the slide. So when you've got it lined up and started with the thread starting in, you can go ahead and spin that in, and it is an adjustable system. So you can have a greater throw or less of a throw according to how much threading you leave out or in. So for now we're going to leave just a little bit of thread showing and line up the trigger. So the next thing to do is assemble the thumb trigger, and we place it upside down, and we're going to rotate it upwards like this, and this spring here has this little hook, and what you want to do is get the spring over the top of the post with the hook on the top side here. So you've got to take the spring, feed it through so that it's there, and now we can activate the tension. As you can see, there's tension now on the spring. So now that we do have the trigger in place, you want to place the stay screw in, obviously thread it in by hand. Then you're going to take the appropriate Allen wrench and go ahead and tighten it down. Now once again, you will have spring tension. So the next thing is to line up this actuator bar with the hole that you have in here. And the question is the actuator bar threaded on both sides? And the answer is apparently no. So line up the threads on the bottom side, swing your trigger into position, and then you have to line up the hole getting close. There it is. And then you've got a small screw that you're going to drop into place and spin through, and you may need a little help from your Allen wrench to get it to just drop through and seat in the threads. Don't over torque it, just snug it. So once it's assembled, you may have to loosen the set screws here and maybe down in here. It's possible that they might get a little bit tight and the trigger won't move. If that's the case, loosen those screws a little bit and you should have a very free functioning trigger. So there it is. That's how this thing is put together and how it comes apart. And there you have it, a wonderful customized third valve slide trigger on an Elite Piccolo.